and you attack the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless, cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnap a dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moor's lips off. Disrespecting the mother Raz Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire way. Throw him off a bridge or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalists more spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crushed to dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors.
You sat down and you attacked the master teacher because you thought you heard something that you didn't hear. That's the first violation. You don't come in. First of all, you come in and you act like you come in peace, but you don't. You got an agenda.
Moors are men upright, independent and fearless. Dogmatized dirty Moors, tongues cut out left earless, cause they never listen. Dirty Moors, keep up your slander. Wu-Tang torture in your ass, hot hangers. Kidnap a dirty Moor, torture him like Saw. 3D, 0.5 or 1 through 4. Or get it like 5 or 6 with a fez on jigsaw. Leather face in a turban, rip dirty Moor's lips off. Disrespecting the mother Raz Mariah Bay. Wrap him up like double crochet, the barbed wire way. Throw him off a bridge or feed him to the piranhas. Yellow journalists more spread nothing but propaganda. Idi Amin Bey, treat the temple like Uganda. Dirty Moors like foreigners, crushed to dust like ganja. Not worthy of being Moors, we call them dirty Nehesus. Solomon Seal spell command 72 demons to get you.
This is what the temple guys actually said. That Canaanland is not a part of North America. Canaanland is bigger. Yo, it's ignorance, man. I mean, come on, you're talking about the same landmass. Canaanland is actually bigger than the landmass they know as the corporate United States. Almost twice as big. And if they had any sense, they could just go to Google and they can type in North America and find out North America goes all the way up to Greenland. But they're ignorant. They don't want to do that. They just dealing off emotion.
You might hear hoarse voices, see frog faces and who's for feet. Demons we run with, spit fire with gold wolf teeth. Keep playing, forget backseats, new Moors are an issue. Get Ginsu, maybe a dream visit from Vishnu. A nightmare to never end and always continue. Cold as an igloo, dealing with my trust issues. Through vigilance, active Moors are militants. SPLC dirty Moors, call that sovereign citizen. Lying for views, they notice all the empty pews. Benz need gas and fixing, but not enough dues. Pigpen Bays sell you out for peanuts, claiming that we nuts. For teaching birthright street level, keeping it beat nuts.
To any members of the MFTA that's out there listening to what I'm saying, please get it through your head. I don't have a problem with the MFTA. I got issues with
Keep it Kendrick Lamar, stay surrounded by feathers. Dirt is guilty of fraud if Drew Ali scrutinized their ledgers. Getting proclamations from Morocco, disrespect us. Corporate city only recognize people's court jesters. Hand in their back, Moorish puppets and minions. Never get the human rights recognition like Moors near Virginia. Commonwealth, for active Moors knowledge, the Commonwealth. Dirties claim more, but really on the straw man help. Authenticating a birth certificate, that's not significant. Civil or more two status syndicates. In more face, watch them two more status Indians claiming Turtle Island are lying, so intricate.
long days and long nights. But this message needed to be heard.
Happy holiday, Moors. Islam. See, there's panicking going on. We were panicking. We just wanted to make sure we address the panickers. Just make sure we address the panickers. Just address all the panickers. I know y'all on here panicking. I love it. It just shows Alright, so Sahar L. Oh, let's do Tashid de German Bay. Can't y'all? Can you get you? Whoa. It's some. It's not Ebonics. If we're Moors, you better know how to talk and stuff. Can you get you? It sounds like a Negro talking to me, personally, but you know, opinion is no proof of truth. All you Moors in the front of the movement can't even work together. I'm sick of you lass. Right? Incompetent people should shut the hell up when they're freaking thinking that they're Moors and they got something to say. Think before you say something, because I will make you look like a dumbass. And I could give a shit if you give up your birthright because your emotions can't let you handle the truth that you're a dumbass. So Tashid, since you want to leave comments on people's stuff, what Moors in the front of what movement are you talking about? Moorish Consular Court just came yesterday. Moorish Consular Court came yesterday, and Moorish Consular Court is only the only reason anybody knows about that is because Taj Tariq Bey talked about it. If he never talked about them, if he was never on their website, if he never said anything and mentioned anything of that about going and joining some Moorish Consular Court, none of you follower ass Moors would be knowing anything about no consular court. So shut the hell up with Moors in the front. Ain't no Moors in the front. It's only Taj Tariq Bey in the front of Moorish Consular Court. And like we've told you already, they've already tried to do Moorish Consular Court in Philadelphia, and that failed. Just go ask Mother Delilah. She knows. Why you think she's mad? Because when she was consular court before these people, nobody wasn't repping anything. No one was repping it when the mother was doing consular court. Everybody thought that it was a joke and all that stuff. Oh, but now because Taj Tariq Bey's face is on the front of it, oh, now they're going to be consular court. FOH. Those people aren't in the front. Those are back follower people who used the elder Taj to get their stuff some credibility. That's what they did. Front of the movement. Those aren't no front whatever. Those people aren't even part of the movement. They came yesterday. They came yesterday. Because, you know, certain people get a little bit of Noble Drew Ali and they think, you know, they can interpret stuff. So they're, you know, they heard Noble Drew Ali say, oh, Moors in the front, you're going to seat you in the back, and the new Moors and all this stuff. And then these new Moors think new means you just found out about your birthright yesterday. No, that's not new. That doesn't mean you're new. The new Moors that would come and seat the old Moors in the back, that happened in 2008 when we came on the scene. That's when that happened. That's when that happened. Why? Because there was never ever anything called Moorish, anything in the north. Never. So we're the true new Moors. Moors been in North America. But North America, calling themselves Moors, they have a temple. They're giving out nationality, not selling it. They're giving people back their nationality. And they've been out here. They got a proclamation from the city telling them that they're indigenous and all that stuff. And you're talking to me about consular court people or somebody? They're nobodies. They came yesterday. They're riding off of Taj's fame and nobility. So you get your shit together, Tashid. And you better start getting off goddamn YouTube and go study. Get off Facebook. Get off Instagram. Get off Twitter. Get off anything social media. And you better go study and stop listening to people. Because Taj Tariq Bey taught us don't follow him. Anybody who's a student of Taj Tariq Bey knows that he taught don't follow me. So if he said don't follow me, how come all you people are following him chasing some consular court bull, BS? No, that means you're going against the teachings of Tashri Bey. You follower ass Moors. The hell out of here. You think we paid all these dues that we're still here 11 years later? For nothing? You think we're still here just for nothing? You know how many dirty Moors we ran through that aren't around anymore? You know how many package sellers that closed up shop and went back to being niggers? Because we chose not to play around with these people. When everybody else was playing around with them, oh yeah, well, it's okay, we're brothers, we're Moors, so it doesn't matter if they're dirty or whatever, you know, just leave them alone or whatever. No, because anybody else who commits treason, they put them on a wall. So why are we playing around with the people who are playing treason with the Moorish movement? Oh, but you, okay, oh, so you want to remain treasonous. You want to remain treasonous. Right? Sahar El, with your perm and stuff like that. With your picture with no fez on, no turban, nothing. You just a Negro driving. Why are you bashing your sister on a public forum or any forum? What sister are you talking about? That's a dirty Moor. Nobody said, when your brother does something, don't call him a nigger, call him a dirty Moor. If he's a dirty Moor, then he's not my brother or sister. These people are dirty Moors. I know personally that they're dirty Moors because before they were consular court, they joined the Kudro Block Party on Facebook because they're full of BS. Remember, before they were Moorish consular court, they were against active Moors. That's why we had to put this one up again. Because they, Sharon Tracy Gale Bay, they're still putting this stuff up in 2019 on social media. And this is how I know people don't study from the right platform. Because MHHS already had the class where they spoke about this is not Rosmariah Bay in this picture. This is some lady they found on a bus or online or something and they made up some fake stuff. Remember, this is before they were consular court. What sister are you talking about? These people are dirty bastards. I don't play with them. People could play with them if they want. That's your business. Just like we said, right? You got people in our temple who are supposed to be down with us or whatever, but they're getting mail in our spot from consular court people. And then the consular court mail stuff is not coming with consular court letterhead because then that'll give it away that they're recruiting people through our temple. Think I'm just talking because I want to talk? No, we're talking to expose these dirty bastards who are using the Moorish birthright. You're worried about some goddamn Latif Bey saying that he's a Bey and he's Austrian. Why is he saying Bey? He can't say Bey. That's Moorish and that's our stuff and all that stuff. And you have dirty Moors doing this stuff and you have nothing to say to them? Nothing? Oh, they're your brother, so you're just going to let them be treasonous. But the European who's actually working on your behalf, going up against whoever it is that he's going up against on your behalf. He's not going and saying, I'm a Moorish American. He's going in whatever jurisdiction. He's in. You don't have jurisdiction over me because I'm a Moorish subject. I'm not in you guys' jurisdiction. He's not stealing Moor's birthright. He's rather intelligent. If you're in the land of the Moors, in Rome, be as the Romans are, right? Okay, so when in Morocco, be a Moor. Fake it till you make it. He's not faking and not giving honors. He's faking and giving honors. He's not faking and stealing your stuff. Oh yeah, he's over here selling stuff under the name of he's a Moorish American and all that stuff. He's not doing that. He's letting you know he's Austrian. You mad at one European? And these dirty Moors, they have some consular court. They put the master teacher's face on the front of it. He doesn't even teach in their conference calls that they have online. Trust me, I have the number. I've been on them, and they don't teach or whatever. Oh yeah, you don't know that I'm on there because obviously my number is gonna show. We're gonna have somebody with a U.S number that's gonna show. And they'll be on there and they'll say Islam and all that stuff when you guys start up your classes. But trust me, we know that ain't no Tashriq Bey on no damn conference calls with no Moorish consular court. So why they got his face up there for? Unless it's just to draw attention, because everybody knows that Taj is the Moorish master teacher. And if he says so, then you might as well go with it. But don't forget, he said don't follow him, you dumbasses. You chase tail Moors. You don't get it? You're dumb. You're smarter than everybody else. But you're going to chase after some man. You're chase after some man when Drew Ali even told you that the priesthood is dead. And you chasing after somebody because they call themselves some consular general or some fake court. It's fake. Don't tell me sister nothing. But sister. What sister is going to go to their other sister, take their paperwork, tell people, hey, come to us instead of going to them because we have the same paperwork as them. And, you know, they approve of us doing everything because, look, they sell Taj Tariq Bey books on their website. And then Taj Tariq Bey is standing up with us. So that would mean RV Bey is standing up with us. So you can just come over to us and then we'll, you know, deal with your paperwork for you and we'll seal it because you see, we got Taj Tariq Bey on our side. So, you know, that's not sister and stuff like that. That's cutthroat. That's backstabbing. That's niggerish. To be honest with you. Why is it niggerish? Because these people came yesterday. They don't know what nationality and birthright. How you a consular court? You ain't even proclaimed your nationality for a year, but you're a damn consular general? You're a consular general and you've been a Moor for under 2 years. And then people are taking that serious. Not because of these people are credible, because they see Taj Tariq Bey up there. So because he's up there, that means he's the... What do you mean? They still have Jamal's picture up there. He left them. Oh, but that's not a problem. Don't worry about that. Isn't that misleading? Isn't that if you drink coffee and they gave you piss for coffee under the guise that it's coffee, there's not going to be an issue. There's no issue. They're lying. Why is his picture still on their site if he is not with them anymore? Now I got a question. Is Taj really with them? Because I don't see him on their stuff. He isn't talking about them stuff anymore. And then again, you know, how's Mother Delilah feel? You know, she been saying consular court before these people, and nobody repped her. Everybody said, "Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that. How you gonna do that? You can't be a consular court." Huh? And then all of a sudden now, oh, now there could be a consular court all of a sudden. Oh, just because of one individual was sister. You people are dumb. Why? Because you don't study. We know you don't study. Because only dummies would fall for $5,000 for a package. And I don't care if you feel in your emotions, why are you talking to me like that? You can't talk to me like that. You're supposed to be helping your brother and sister out of the mess that... No, I got myself out of this BS. Ain't nobody came and helped me out of anything. I got myself out of this. No help. Nobody brought the water for me to drink. I had to crawl across the hot sand to the oasis. Buzzards picking at my back. Couldn't even fight them off. Just had to let them pick. But I know when I get to that oasis over there, that's a fountain of youth. I'm going to be rejuvenated after I get to that oasis over there. And there's just this man with a fez on, just pointing in this direction of this oasis. Didn't say a word. He just stood there pointing. I can see what he's pointing at. But this sand is hot, dehydrated. Nobody ran up, picked me up, and run me to the oasis. No, I had to crawl across the hot sand. Scorpions walking on me. Snakes crawling on me. But I made it to the oasis. And I know the truth about my nationality and my birthrights. And I'll be damned if you people try to make me look like some fuck more out here. Like you got something going on. Just because you have a website. These people are a fraud. These people are a blatant fraud. You're mad. And then same thing goes to all the people who thumbs up this BS right here. Remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity. What unity? What unity are you talking about? What unity with traitors are you talking about? That's why Moors have nothing right now, because you guys give traitors passes. Traders are still around today selling Moor Science Temple of America charters. Right now, today, still. Naturalizing people. Still, 2019, people are convinced that a Moor naturalizes because some guy with a fez on said that. They never went to study to know what naturalization is. A guy with a fez says naturalize? Oh yeah, they never went to study to find out what a barcode is. Or a guy with a fez on said, oh no, your nationality card with a barcode because, you know, the U.S, they want you to swipe and stuff, and then when it swipes, it's supposed to come up something. And people run with that. You have it messed up if you think that you're going to be able to get away with the BS that you're doing. 2,500 for some papers. People calling me crying. They're crying their eyes out to me because they're too coward to go do something to these people that just robbed them of $5 grand. They're not going to go strangle them. They're going to come crying to me about the Moors. Why don't the Moors? And how come the Moors don't whatever? How come your dumbass got for $5 grand? Oh, you tried to get picked up and ran across the hot desert into the oasis. Oh, okay. Then when the guy ran you further out into the desert, now you're complaining. But that's what you get for wanting to be picked up instead of dealing with your hot sun on your back, on your stomach, whichever way you decide to crawl to the oasis. You don't want to take responsibility for the stuff you got to deal with. But you want me, because I'm Grand Sheik, so I'm supposed to... No, I'm not holding your BS. The hell are you talking about? What Grand Sheik's holding your BS? Half these other Grand Sheiks out here been sold you out. That's why they can't talk to you like this. Because they sold out. They get to go to City Hall to go get flag raisings and stuff like that. You mean these people aren't sold out? The hell do you mean? And then they not tell anybody. It's Moorish. This is a Moorish thing, but you know these Moors aren't gonna tell other Moors to, oh, hey, come on down. The date's this day. You know what I mean? Get your plane tickets and all that stuff. No different than convention. If it's more Moroccan flag waving day and we're descendants of Moroccans, how come we're not getting no personal invites from these Moor science temples who are so established and whatever like that? They should be sending out letters to everybody. They should have the mail connect by now. If they can go to City Hall, then they should have the mail connect to send every single Moorish American a personal invite to the Moroccan flag waving stuff. Why not? They're going to City Hall for it. What do you mean? They're obviously recognized Moors and all that stuff. If City Hall is going to call them, hey, come on down here. We're going to honor you and give you a proclamation. And then only that group of Moors from that temple that they call go? You tell me that that's not a sellout? They're not the only Moroccans. Philadelphia is not the only place where Moors are at in North America. Even if Philadelphia is the capital of the Moorish government. There are more other places. So how come everybody's not being invited to stuff going down? And then how come Moors aren't upset about that, but you're mad at this one European says that he's big, standing up for your birthright? But you're not mad at these sellouts going on divorce court. And remember, the divorce court, these are the divorce court Moors. These are the Moors who went on the reality TV BS. Now, these are those Moors. What unity are you talking about? How are you not mad about them for not showing unity by calling everybody to come to the Moroccan flag waving? And Noble Ali said, know your higher self and your lower self. So don't tell me nothing about knowing and lower self. Like people are exempt from lower self. You better know what your lower self is. Know how to control it too. Stop playing around. Coming on here leaving comments or whatever. You know we have the email. You can send your email if you have a problem with your number, and I'll call you, just like all the other competent people. And when they call and they get the stern talks from Kudrow, and then they come to their senses. Oh yeah, you know what? You're actually right. Oh, so if I'm right, why are you talking about BS then? Oh well, you know, I thought you thought whatever because you weren't studying. Get it? People want the microwave stuff. It's cool. I get it. I get it. That's where people are at. All right, well, you know, I'm gonna meet you where you're at. That you're a dumbass. Right? I'll meet you where you're at. This is what people need. Like I said, this is not okay. Case in point. Somebody got a problem, right? What do they do? They send an email. Islam GS Kudrow. I've come across a group of Moors who go by 13 love or 13, something like that. And the things I see them display is upsetting and incorrect. Most of all, I see birthright theft. I have a few questions. One, why are modern day Europeans calling themselves national Aboriginal Indigenous Moor Americans? I know for a fact that the modern day Europeans that I know personally that ride with the Moorish paradigm, they don't say that they're Moorish. They don't say that they're national Aboriginal. They don't say that they're indigenous. They don't say that they're Americans. They identify themselves by their nationality. If they want to play Mr. Dress Up and wear a fez and say that they're Bay, hey, whatever. You're a Moorish subject. So under the Moors, you're gonna act like a Moor. I can see that you're European. I know you're not a Bay. You're some Austrian name. You're some British, French, Frank, whatever name. I know that. I get it. You have to hide because your owner is trying to take you out. I get it. Well, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Wave the Moroccan flag and all that stuff right there. If you see a Moor, you're going to help him out and all that stuff. You're not going to try to leech off the Moors and all that stuff. Oh, all right. Do your thing. I don't know what the hell you're talking about Europeans calling themselves national Aboriginal Indigenous Americans. But I do know that if you start talking about 13 love and 13 or whatever, you're talking about some pedophile whoever guy. Some what do you call that? Record long like whatever. And because Moors already exposed his fraud or whatever, now he's going to Europeans and now he's putting Europeans on to the Moorish info that the Moors put him on that isn't for Europeans like that, unless it's from the perspective of the Europeans that we know that say they're ipso jure Moorish subjects and they know that they can't be a Moorish national. They know that they can't be an Aboriginal and Indigenous Moor American. They know that they can't be that because they are what their mother is, European. And they're taught that by the Moors. So These people talking about Europeans are national, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moor Americans or whatever, that's a fraud. A European can't be a Moor like that. A European can be a subject of the Moors. A European can be a serf of the Moors. A European can be a slave of the Moors. A European can be a son of the Moors. But a European can't be the head. Doesn't work like that. Anybody who thinks because I know a European that says Bay, I think that he's a Moor, you're a dumbass. If you think that that's how I think, you're a dumbass. Matter of fact, I just emailed him today. You know what? Let's do an experiment. Stop saying Bay. Stop saying Bay. Forget Bay. Keep doing your ipso jure Moor subject. You say Latif, but you stop saying Bay. Let's see what these Moors have to say. If you're doing the same stuff there, but you're not saying Bay. Now let's see if they're going to send you $1.25 and tell you about LOL. Let's see. Just get rid of the Bay, Latif. Let's just see what happens. Let's test these Moors and see how real they are with their talk. Because I know that you're real. You know, you rep for the Moors. You don't rep for Austria. You rep for the Moors. I know you don't rep for Austria. I know you never ever told me you're a Moorish national, or you're a Moroccan whatever, or you're a Mauritanian, or you're a Moor anything. You never ever ever. You always acknowledge that you're a European. You always accept that you're a Muslim son when I say that to you. You don't argue. How come you're a Muslim son when you're calling me? Why are you calling me that? You should be calling me a Moorish American because I have a Bay. You don't talk to me like that. So I know something. I know people are playing around out there with this thing. And like I'm telling you, anybody talking about 13 love and then they do the little thing with the fingers and stuff like that, 13 love and all that stuff, that's from the fraud Moor guy, who Moors realized that he was on some BS. Now we're talking about active Moors. He had videos shouting out Canaanland Moors and all that stuff. Get the F out of here. What you talking about? He has videos with him on the bed shouting out Canaanland Moors. Why? Because we put him on to being Moor. He wasn't talking Moorish before he started billing with us. And what do? Take all the stuff that they got and then go over there and do some other BS. Because again, once we start pointing at dirty Moors or whatever like that, we really exile these people. Look at all the Moors that have disappeared, that you don't hear about. Just go back into all our stuff. All the Moors that we talk BS about, that people are mad. Hey, why are you doing that? That's not going to do nothing. Where are those people now? Same sellouts who were making videos and talking BS about Canaanland. Where are they at right now? Nowhere. Why? Because we don't rep this for somebody. Allah guides this. We know that. This is Noble Drew Ali stuff. This has nothing to do with GS Cujo and all that. I just know that there's no way that Noble Drew Ali would fall for the BS. What do you mean? He made Moors die in their seat when they were dirty. What are you talking about? He didn't deal with dirty Moors. You haven't read the literature? Where the Moor was talking BS, and by the time the Prophet came to the meeting, the Moor was dead in the seat. Nobody touched him, but he was talking BS about the Prophet. You tell me that Noble Drew Ali was riding with dirty Moors and it was all right, they are brothers and all that stuff? No. He was dealing with treasonous like treasonous get dealt with. Eliminate them. What do you mean you're going against the Prophet? Yes, eliminate them. That's treason, and it's our jurisdiction. So nobody can't say anything about why we did something. It had to be some snitch that called to have them to be able to trump up some charges on Noble Drew Ali or whatever. It had to be somebody on the inside who called outside of the jurisdiction to tell outside of the jurisdiction to come in this jurisdiction to do something. You tell me that there's no sellout today? And again, it's your own. Because it's your own. Why are modern day Europeans calling themselves national, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moor Americans? because of a Moor, a dirty Moor, that goes by the name of 13th son. Now he's a rabbi. He wasn't a rabbi back then when, you know, he was a pedophilia stuff. He wasn't a rabbi then. He wasn't a rabbi then. But now he's a rabbi now. Didn't Noble Drawley say priesthood is dead? Isn't a rabbi a priest? So if a rabbi is a priest, then how come people are chasing after a rabbi when the priest said, oh yeah, because these rabbis don't teach about Noble Drawley, because if they teach about him, then all the truth is going to come out and then these people's stuff is done. So nowhere ever did Kudrow sanction that somebody European could call herself Bay. That has nothing to do with me. He was Bay when I met him. And the only reason I met him is because I was looking at, damn, this Bay is going kind of hard. Like, who the hell is this? You're European? Hold on a minute. How are you a European? You're going harder than Moors who say that they're Bay. What the hell is going on here? And I'm supposed to be mad at her? But no, he been had that. That had nothing to do with me. I'm mad at Kudrow. I'm calling all over the place talking to people who Kudrow know. How come Kudrow is letting this European? What do you mean Kudrow letting what? You mean I'm letting somebody do something? The hell are you talking about? I can't even let these Moors pay their little $25 dues. But I'm letting some European say that they're bait? I'm letting something. Stop the BS with my name. Because from the jump, I've been straight and narrow. I don't play the BS. I know what this is. Trying to look like something's up with me or whatever. You know, European is a Moor. That's not, nothing goes like that. I know that. Don't play dumb. Like I don't know a European can't be a Moor. The hell are you talking about? Never did I say a European could be a Moorish national or Aboriginal or Indigenous or a Moor or American or anything like that. Never. But you're never going to get mad at these Europeans that are doing this, though. How come you're not telling them nothing? How come you're not going on their pages and telling them some stuff? Why? All right. Question 2. They say they are a children of Big Ama Mama. Could you shed some clarity on that? Big Ama Mama has to be Allah. And, you know, if they are children of Allah, then they got a nationality. Stop the BS. I know more. You're European. And anybody talking about some Big Ama Mama or whatever is their God. You know, they have a right to that. You know, that's constitutional. Right to your religion. We say Allah, they say Big Mama, Ama, whatever. All right, whatever. But you still got nationality. So you could be children of the whatever all you want. What's your nationality? And I know that you're not more American, national, Aboriginal, and Indigenous. I know that because I'm that, and you don't look like me. So stop the BS. What's your nationality? Like I said, certain Moors I know, they say I'm Greek, I'm Austrian. You know, my descendants are the whatever, whoever. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm ipso jure Moorish subject because I'm in Moorish lands. So, you know, fake it till I make it. Because I'm not in my own land. So I'm going to have to be under whoever's land this is. Common sense. Whose land is this? Well, if the place is called Morocco, then this is probably the Moors' land. So I better have some conversations with them instead of other foreigners who are here pretending that they're some type of government or whatever like that, and you know, and me get karma for going against what I know is truth as a European. So I don't know about Big Ama Mama, but if I get what they're saying Allah. And if they're children of Allah, great. You should be living by the 5 principles. You should recognize who the prophet is and recognize that he said you have a right to a nationality. And then he asked you, what's your nationality? And he kept talking about you're not Negro, black, colored, and all that stuff. So obviously he was talking to a particular people. And any way that we flip it, etymologically, connotatively, denotatively, doesn't matter. Whoever he's talking to, he asks them, what's your nationality? And then if you're still dumb, he says, you are what your mother is. So don't play dumb. 3, they say they don't follow Islam, and although man should not follow anyone, it seems like a diss to Islam. It seems that they are not studying and are parroting what they believe to be truth. If the Prophet brought Islam back, then what are they doing? Why would they throw away Islam? Because they're not Moors. They're letting people know we're not Moors. Because Moors follow Islam. And Islam is thyself law master, so you govern yourself. So like I said, they say big Ama Mama, we say Allah. They say they have nothing to do with Islam. We say, well, you can't be a child of big Mama Ama, but not have a religion. Like you can't, it doesn't work like that. If you have a God, you have a religion. That's just how it goes. There's nothing to debate. And then if you're throwing away all the stuff and saying that you don't have any of them, then obviously you're not a child of. You might be a child of something else. It doesn't deal with truth. If you're a child of the deceiver, then it is what it is. They let you know. If they're gonna throw away Islam, then they can't be national Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moor Americans if they're gonna throw away Islam. And yes, they are not studying, and they are parroting what they believe to be true that they heard from their rabbi, who's a pedophilia guy. He's on certain lists and stuff like that. And again, people still around. And then they get all these Europeans to join, and then these Europeans take their finance, and then they build websites and stuff like that, so that people can go support some Europeans who's calling themselves more American nationals or whatever, but they're not going to go to nomoredaily.com, and then they're not going to go support that. When that's a Moor doing that. They're going to go to some Europeans saying that they're Moor. And then they're going to be mad at Latif, who's saying that he's Bay, even though he says I'm Austrian. I mean, but they're going to send him $1.25, talk about LOL, but they're going to go buy some camouflage bag from some Europeans talking about their Moorish Americans. And then people calling around talking about Cujo, something about Cujo. The hell you talking about me? Why don't you call about these Europeans right here that are really stealing your birthright under the guise of some Moor who says that he's their rabbi? 4, can you shed light on what a true Yahudim Moor is? Right? I don't know what the hell that is. Never heard that ever. And the only true I know is TRUE. Anybody saying TRU, they're trying to do some Islam Moors. We might be back. We might be back. Just let me know in the chat. Yeah, all right, Moor. Are we back live? Oh, here they can hear now. Islam Moors. So that's how they do when you're telling the truth. That's what they do. Shut your whole computer down. Just because. Just because. Shut your whole stuff down. That's how real it is. You're just gonna shut the computer down. You can't make it up, Morris. We have work to do. So yeah, no idea what a true Yehudim Moor is. Again, something probably from their pedophilia rabbi. You know the rabbis are the pedophilia. Oh, that's probably why they're mad, because I said rabbi and we're talking about pedophilia and stuff. That's probably why they shut it down. Because it's them Jews that be running this. Look, it's them Jews that be running this. Already. You already know. 5. Why are they saying, I am not a human shadow, but I am a private dweller? This seems very cult-like and unstudied. Yes, because again, just go check all the cults. If you check all the cults, the real cults, not the people who they throw in there say that those are cults when they weren't really cults and stuff like that. The real cult people. That individual at the head is what it's all about in a cult. Nothing to do with anybody else. Right? Just like these people are brainwashing to thinking that they're national, aboriginal, indigenous, more American. Remember, he used to be casting spells at people when he used to have his little thing and swinging it in the camera and stuff like that, doing hypnosis on people. Don't forget the rabbi guy, who's the 13 love guy, who's the pedophilia guy. This is when he was doing his YouTube stuff, before he got off YouTube, because it got too hot on YouTube. No more YouTube. He has to go Instagram and all that stuff now. Maybe not even be showing self. He'll wave his little crystal in the camera. All the dumb people, of course, they got hypnotized. So yes, definitely some cult stuff going on, and some unstudied stuff going on, because these people are Europeans. And you can't be a child of whatever and that voids you of being European. You're still European. Just like, even though he says Latif Bey, he lets you know I'm Austrian. He lets you know he's Austrian. He's not hiding that he's Austrian by using Bey. And they're not saying he's Austrian. He's not doing like Peter Lamborn Wilson, who said Hakeem Bey. And then he never checked into none of that. You're not mad at that. How come you're not mad at Peter Lamborn Wilson? He's European. He said Bey. Matter of fact, he said Hakeem Bey, which we already know that there was one of those. He straight bit a Moor's name that is a Moor, that if you say Hakeem Bey, you already know who you're talking about. And then when you pulling up stuff, you're thinking that you're dealing with Hakeem Bey the Moor when you're dealing with a European. And you had never had nothing to do with that. No problem with that. No issue. You didn't say anything. Nobody. No hands up back there. Oh. Remember, he started a Moorish Orthodox church and all that stuff for Europeans. What they need 13 guy for? Why don't they just go to Peter Lamborn Wilson and just go join the Moorish Orthodox Church if they want to be Moors? Oh. You know how messed up people are because they don't study? You know how dumb people sound and how stupid they look, and then they want to get mad at me for cutting out their stupidity or whatever. Nah, what? All we're dealing with is the truth. They're mad. You coming on our stuff leaving comments. Go comment on your mirror to yourself. Read that every day. Egomaniacs going nuts. It's not about some we got something and it's only ours and all that stuff. What the hell are you talking about? You're supposed to be uplifting fallen humanity. Humanity's everybody. Humanity's the world. You're only waking up sisters only. What the hell are you talking about? Just like Jolly said, I came to you, Morris, because you need me the most, but you didn't just come for Morris. We put energy to the sisters because they need it the most, but it's not just waking up them only. Anybody thinking about is just waking up them only, but leave everybody else to be dumb nigger is a dumbass. More dumb than the dumb nigger. If you don't have a nationality, you're human chattel. I don't care how much you say I'm not human chattel. You are if you don't have a nationality. And if you're a dweller, it's in a domicile, which means you have to be some type of human being. You have to be a child of some invisible whatever, but you're not invisible. You're a child of whatever, you're not invisible. You should be invisible too, shouldn't you? And again, it's this game that they're playing. It's a game that they're playing. Because trust me, more support these people. When their rabbi is a pedophilia guy. But then they're mad at this European that's saying that he's Bay, even though he lets them know that he's Austrian. And he has blonde hair, blue eyes, and all that. But you know he can't be a Moor. Just by how he looks, you know he can't be a Moor. The hell are you complaining about? Like, obviously, he's faking it till he makes it. Obviously, he's faking it. Because he's blonde hair and blue eyes. And he lets the camera get close to his face so you can see his eyes are blue. He's not hiding that he's a European. But you guys will never say anything to these Europeans that you're buying their crochet bags from and all that BS. Supporting some pedophile cult crap. You're going to send $1.50 to the European who's doing more than these people talking about LOL. FOH. Why are they making a distinguish between a turban and crown, as they mean a jewel to be a crown, but the turban is already a crown? Now, just as you said it, a turban is a crown. A turban is a crown. The jewel on the turban represents the pineal gland open. It has nothing to do with anything else. The jewel on the turban / crown means that your mind's eye is open. That's what that means. And depending on how open it is, you would have a jewel there, or you would do like Noble Jewelry and have the big freaking thing with the feathers showing the energies bursting out and all that type of stuff. Is what the feathers are. So depending on how open it is, that would be displayed. You see, this is why the Moorish Science Temple guys that went to get the proclamation stuff and all that stuff, they had their guy wearing the little turban with the stuff bursting out the stuff because, you know, they want to try to be the prophet. They're jacking that energy because they already know what it is. But he's really the only one that should be repping that like that. Because ain't nobody pineal open like that. And all these Moors are playing. Prophet was healing people and all that stuff. These Moors talking about, you know, they're the rabbi of something because their turban has a feather or whatever. They're playing you. So the turban and the crown are the same thing. A turban is a crown. And the jewel on the crown is the pineal. The jewel isn't the crown. The jewel doesn't make the crown. The jewel has nothing to do with the headpiece at all. And then remember that everybody, you know, it's like again, going back when we talk about um, distinguishing between a turban and a crown. And then you watch the same quote unquote sister, the same sister with Moorish consular court BS talking about she left her turban home. The hell do you mean you left your turban home? The hell does that mean? How could you leave your turban home? Like Moore was saying, like what, like they got a turban like some kind of hat or something. Yeah, like why is the turban like a hat? Oh, I forgot my hat home. So I just came out with nothing on because, you know, I just forgot my. So don't mind me looking crazy because I forgot my turban home. What? You forgot your turban home. And then arming and rubbing the hands, doing the liar signs and all that stuff, and you don't realize what's going on, and you're still playing around talking about your sister and all this stuff. Stop the BS. Stop it. Forgot your turban home. You're a consular general or whatever. You forgot your turban home? But why? Because, what did you always say? You know, give up your turban first, return to the state where you found you. That's why they come out without their stuff when they want to tell you some BS. BS. Why are they taking ownership of the straw? Right, again, that's teachings of their rabbi, 13 Love whatever, who again, after the Moors exiled him, because we found out that he was up to BS, because he has not atoned for his sins. If you're still on the list, you didn't, I don't care if you beat that case up. You can't be on the list still. Are you on the pedophile list still? But saying that something's been resolved. But again, you know, you can't play that BS with Moors. So he went to the European community because he knows they're gullible dumbasses and they'll jump on. They can be a Moor, they can be a child of the Mama and all that stuff. Oh, I'm about to be down with this. I've asked quite a few questions and I have more, but I will let you go through these pictures to get a better sense of what they are saying. They are clearly unstudied and are just repeating information they have gotten from somewhere. I suppose their rabbi. That seems to be their quote-unquote leader. Why would Moors be allowing this type of birthright theft and encouraging it? Now, why would Moors be allowing this? Let's see what's up in here, because I'm just getting this right now. Oh, so there's one, right? And those are the hat turbans, you know, because people too lazy to go get cloth and wrap their turban, so they wear the hat turban. Just like a wig or whatever. Just throw that on, they could leave that home and forget that and all that stuff. And then they dress up like some Jew and say that they're Yehudu Moors and all this. Right, these are Europeans. Yeah, they got dark hair, yeah, but you are what your mother is. And by their physical presentation, they're not a Moor like that. Islam and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice and all that stuff, but they're not Moors like that. Right? Beneficiary of the Creator Hashem's earth, private dweller, who is not for public use and is foreign to the USA Incorporated. Right now, he knows he can't be Rasul Bey. He knows he can't be Rasul Bey. But then, how are you trademarking something that's not yours? And then how come these people are trademarking Bey and stuff like that, and you have nothing to say to them, but you're saying something to a European who's telling you he's ipso germ Moorish subject, and he's just pretending to be a Moor because he knows that the Moors are under occupation, but he knows that this is Morocco. So if in Rome you do as the Romans do, in Morocco you do as Moroccans do. This is not Rome or Austria. And then again, these people trademark in Bey. And you're telling me these people aren't stealing your birthright, but Latif Bey is stealing your birthright? FOH. These are not the same Europeans. Just like you're not going to look at dirty Moors and sincere, loyal Moors as the same. You're not. So why are you looking at these Europeans as the same? Because both of them look like Europeans? No, there's dirty Europeans too. Oh yeah, just go watch what we just put up, White Trash, if you never watched it. You know what's up with these Europeans. For the record, on the record, I am not a human, as only a human can be a slave and chattel property of Rome. I am limitless, I am a child of the Most Highs. Which Most High? Because you said I'm a mama or whatever like that. So which is it? Is it Most High or is it Allah? Because that's two different stuff. If you're playing games with your birthright and you're letting them. For the record, I acknowledge that the Bible is the foundational law that's stated in Public Law 97280 and use the laws therein as a guide. Right? Bibles again. Bibles again. For the record, I do not follow Christianity, I do not follow Islam, I do not follow Judaism, I do not follow Catholic, I do not follow Protestant, I do not follow Hebrews, I do not follow Moorish. I am a true Yehudim Moor, a son of Amma, Mama, and Hashem. Right? I know some of those 14 hearts are some Moors. I know that. Because that's what the Moor is talking about with why would Moors be allowing this type of birthright theft and encouraging it? But they're calling all over the place to talk to people who Cujo know about, oh, how come he's letting Latif Bey say that he's Bey and all that stuff, and you have these people trademarking Bey and you guys not doing a damn thing about it. Right? 13 Love. As soon as you see 13 Love, you know that that's the pedophile or whatever. That's the crew. 13 Love community under their rabbi. Under their rabbi. Let's go look up the 13th Son exposed on YouTube. It ain't even like he's hiding. He's not even complaining on people putting up that stuff and saying that they're running a fraud or telling lies on him. He's letting the stuff stay up there. That doesn't let you know something? You're a dumbass. Right? This is what Amar's doing. You talking about Cujo made Latif a Bey? No, He was that before I even met him. But y'all know these people here stealing your birthright? What natural rights and sovereignty if you're a European? But you guys have nothing to say to these people though. Nothing. Nothing to say about them. Zero. Nothing to say. You're telling me some BS about Latif? Who he lets you know, he goes on the record and lets you know, I'm not about stealing the Moor's birthright. If I steal your birthright, take my head. Right? And then they learn, now they're doing David Wynn Miller now. Now they're doing David Wynn Miller with your birthright. But then they're saying they're not U.S. citizen when they're doing David Wynn Miller, who is a European foreigner. And remember, all of them have the hat turban. Right? I am heir of the Moroccan Empire. These Europeans being led by a Moor who knows that now if you honor your foremothers and forefathers, you would be doing like what Latif is doing. You would be saying you're Austrian or you're whatever your mom is. You would be saying that you're an heir to some Moroccan empire as a European. Anyway, nobody started talking appellation before the mothers. Nobody was talking appellation. Nobody was talking appellation. Now people talking appellation now. Now they don't say name anymore. All of a sudden. All of a sudden, they don't say name anymore. Right? Y'all asleep or you awake? Sleep or you awake? Indigenous appellation, European. And again, Moors have nothing to say. Nothing. Nothing to say. But a Muslim son, Latif, who would die for you Moors. You're going to send him $1.50 talking about LOL. Here's a donation for you, but you're going to go buy these people's stuff. Hat turban people wearing a crown. Right? Selling all your stuff. Selling all your stuff. Tell me it's not European? And she doesn't have the pineal open, but you got a crown on there. She doesn't have the pineal open turban. She doesn't have the pineal's closed, but she got jewels on the stuff. Right? The Rabbi Bay. TLC 13 Love Community trademark. If it's trademark, then that's not a nation. Right? Look at all these Europeans that are stealing your birthright. They're not even giving you any honors, Moors. They're just jacking your stuff. And the Moor that's giving you honors and telling you that it's your birthright, not his, and telling you about your prophet, and telling you, they didn't even mention the prophet yet. But they're bays. They're bays, but they never mentioned the prophet. They're talking to me about some rabbi. They're talking about birthright inheritance. Their nationality. They're proclaiming their nationality. How come it's only Europeans you're seeing? How come you're not seeing, how come this rabbi is not waking up any Asiatics? How come rabbi, look at all these clothes, pineal on the side. It's not even in the front and all that stuff. Pineal on the side. But they got jewels on. Pineal closed. Have the turban wrapped around the pineal, letting you know that their pineal's closed, but they got jewels on. Talking about their Moors. You're a citizen of heaven? If you're a citizen of heaven, what the hell are you doing on earth? If you're a citizen of heaven, then why are you here? Shouldn't you be in heaven? That's where your citizenship is at. Right? So I don't want to hear anybody tell me any BS about Latif Bey. I don't want to stop calling around the world and complaining to people that Cujo is made a European, a Bey and all that stuff. Stop bitching and go deal with these issues right here. Remember, all of these people have trademark on their stuff, remember, too. Keep in mind, all these people trademark Bey. Latif Bey wouldn't even dare. He would be so terrified to even attempt doing something like this. He would be terrified to attempt to do something like this. And these people are just out here trademarking your Bey, and you Moors are doing nothing about it, but you're calling around to talk some BS about Cujo and how come Cujo this and that. How come Cujo let Latif do that? Cujo shouldn't let Latif do that. The hell are you talking about? I didn't let anybody do anything. My question is, how come y'all ain't dealing with these Europeans right here who are really a problem? Huh? How come you're not dealing with the real problem, Europeans? Islam to the Muslim son, Latif Bey, and all the other Europeans out there who are, sincere and they're actually doing for the Moors. They're not trying to steal birthrights and stuff like that. They're actually doing for the Moors. Right? No clean swipes today. Jagged edges all day. Rabbi Bey. I know. Tripping. These people are tripping. Super tripping. Jagged edges only today. No clean swipes today. So Islam Moor, hopefully we answered your questions. Give thanks for those questions. Those are some good ones. Never seen anything like that in my life. And these Moors mad at Latif for repping their stuff that they don't want to rep. Shame on y'all. Shame. Shame. So we dealt with that. Oh yeah. So quickly, we got about a half hour left. We just want to quickly
I have no problem
deal with our friends here at the
peace.
Snap Turtle people. They're
At
talking
this
crazy.
point, it's getting ridiculous and out of hand. You have self-titled Moors who have done none of their own genealogy, who can't tell you about their own family going back 4 or 5 generations, but insist on telling us Lenape who we are.
Oh, 1 second. Before you start and tell you about this Lenape, who we are, let's just see who the Lenape are. Let's just find out. Let's find out how the Lenape, Delaware Indians got their name. The Lenape name actually derived from 2 names. Lenni meaning genuine, pure, real, and or original, and Lenape, meaning Indian. Lenape means Indian? Oh, so if Lenape means Indian, then we're right and exact when we say in 1621 the name Indian or Lenape or Cherokee or whatever was replaced because it was a replacement because they were actually really Moors. Lenape means Indian. Lenape is not some indigenous word that means something they're going to tell you. Lenape means Indian. This information comes from the Lenape Talking Dictionary. The term Indian is not an original native First Nations term, but may have been added later to distinguish the group based on cultural adoption of the misused title from Europeans. Also, it's not Moor. Moor is not the term that the Europeans made up or whatever like that to describe the whatever. Lenape was the name because Lenape means Indian, and we already know this is not India. The name Delaware is also not an original native First Nations term. Thomas West III Baron Delaware was the first English governor of Virginia. The name Delaware was given to the river in Virginia, but then also applies to the native people by Europeans inhabiting the area surrounding the river at the time of contact. The name eventually stuck with the group and they were interchangeably called Lenni, Lenape, or Delaware Indians. Then these people play you that you're not Moors and you're everything else. Remember, they went back and they traced their stuff all the way back and they said that they're Lenape. Okay, you're Indian. Well, Indian is a replacement for Moor. So what do you mean you're not Moors? What you mean you're not Moors? If Lenape means Indian, and we already told you in 1621, Moor was replaced with Indian. They're the original, pure, real, original Indian. No, you're not. Stop faking. This is not India. Like Brother Yusuf says, let them talk.
So, what I'm going to do is read to you from a very thorough report on this whole concept of the Nanticoke Lenape being Moors.
Nanticoke Indians, remember, because Lenape means Indian. Just like Hebrew means Abraham, Ibri means Abraham. It doesn't mean a group of whatever. It means that one guy. All right, Lenape doesn't mean tribe of these whatever. Lenape just means Indian. Lenape just means Indian. And are we in India? Okay, so that means that that's a semblance, right? If they call themselves Lenape. Then they try to say that. Because remember, they're the ones that's doing all this research and stuff like that. What do you call it? Independent documentary guys that love making documentaries and stuff like that prove their point of the truth they found out doing all their scholarly research. They didn't find what we just found? That the Delaware comes from a European? Delaware comes from Delaware, a European. Look them up. But they're talking crazy about Moors? Please. The Moors of Delaware. How could, Delaware Indians? Delaware Nanticoke Indians are not Moors. It's full of BS.
I will put the links in the description so you can read it for yourself and you can understand that the Nanticoke Lenape are not Moors.
The Nanticoke Lenape are not Moors. The Delaware Moors, a curious people found in Kent and Sussex counties. There has been much speculation about the so-called Moors living in Kent and Sussex counties. These people are usually swarthy, black-haired, and black-eyed, although sometimes of fair complexion.
Did a small percentage of the Nanticoke intermarry with some shipwrecked Spaniards who claimed Moorish ancestry?
Oh, some shipwrecked Spaniards who claimed Moorish and no, so now we mean that they're Spaniards then. They're not Moors. If they're Spaniards, then we already know that that's Ferdinand, Isabella, and the crew. That's not Moors like that. How they're talking. But they have to play that game in order to fit in with their narrative lie that they want to tell that they were taught by the European. Remember, Delaware comes from Baron Delaware, DE-LA-WARR, Delaware, English governor, where that came from. But not only that, there's so Lenni, Lenape, the ancient giants who ruled America, Lenni Lenape. Lenni Lenape. There's a lot more. I don't know if you've been trying. I had you off speaker. All right, his hand's probably full. It probably wasn't anything. Tiddy was known as King of the Delawares. He worked to establish a Lenni Lenape home in eastern Pennsylvania. Looks like he's dressing like any Indian to me. He clearly is not dressing like an Indian. The Lenni Lenape Indians, again, Lenape means Indian. So the Lenni Indians were often referred to as a tribe of giants. Technically, their name translates as the real people or the human beings. Yeah, that's the first part. That's Lenni. Lenni is that, the original, the real. Lenape means Indians. Always get the whole story. Chief of the Lenni Lenape. You don't look too Asiatic. It's more like the later ones that we know are not the ones. But you know, they're going to play their little game. Of course, they have to. They have to. Delaware's Forgotten Folk. Story of the Moors and the Nanticotes. The late legislation to date applying to Moors and Indians was enacted May 19th, 1937. The law which amends all prior legislation on the subject of Indians and Moors warrants careful reading. No white or colored child shall be permitted to attend any school for Moors or any school for Indians. And any child who is entitled to membership in the corporation or association known as the Nanticoke Indian Association. Oh, so they're a association of Indians. They're not even a tribe. The Nanticoke Indian Association, if they have that, and that's a corpse, then why would you think that Nanticoke, Lenni, Lenape is not a corpse too? Any child who is entitled to membership in the corporation. So Nanticoke Indians are an association. It's not even a tribe. Why are you letting them tell you BS, making crazy videos like they don't know? In the first place, Indians were not Indians at all. When Christopher Columbus landed in the New World, he believed that he had found India. When he called the inhabitants India, he was using the term in its literal meaning, but the misnomer took hold. This is the Delaware's book telling you this. So if the Delaware's book is telling you that Indian comes from India and we're not Indians, then how is Snapping Turtle guys telling you about their Delaware Indians? Soon all the native inhabitants of the American continent were known as Indians when they weren't Indians. They weren't Lenape. They were actually Moors. And Indian is a misnomer, like Moors been telling people. Nobody wants to hear us. They want to listen to the goofs out here. They want to listen to the fame and nobility people, people who are losing it. Moorish paradigm, the real Hakim Bey. Stranger than fiction. Stranger than fiction. It seems likely that the Creekmen or pirates were chiefly of the races of Cimbri or Black Danes and Maori or Blackamoors. He also says on the same page, they were better known in modern history under the general designation of Vikings or Creekmen. Everybody knows who the Moors are. It's only the dummies, the Delawares, Shawnee, Seneca, Mahika, and other Eastern Indians that claimed that their forebears originally received their knowledge of Matapikason from a tribe called the Nanticoke. He goes on to say regarding a community of Aboriginals in Kent County, Delaware, that locally these people are called Moors. And he further states, investigations among the Delaware Moors starting in the fall of 1941 led me to conclude that the ancestry of many of the families included both Delaware and Nanticoke Indians, which we already know, Lenape means Indian, and that's a fiction. The Moors, or so-called Indians, on the eastern seaboard of the United States were a maritime people and were the same Moors found on the other side of the Atlantic, on the coast from southwest Africa all the way up to England, Ireland, Scotland, Denmark, etc. Now that's dark-skinned people. That's not pale people. So pale people don't get caught up because you see England, Ireland, Scotland, Denmark. Oh yeah, now we're Moors. No, they're talking about dark-skinned people. Good try though. Good try. Good try. Remember, just go watch White Trash. Go watch that. Go watch that lecture. If you think you're somebody, European, you're not anybody. You're the scalawags. You're the vagabonds. You're the white trash. You didn't have any jurisdiction over here like that to claim that you're Moorish, whatever. All you are is a subject, and you better put on your serf status and stop playing around but wearing jewels on turbans. Stop pretending. And again, all the Europeans who I know, they know that they're Greek and they know that they're Austrian and they know that they're pale people. They know that. They don't hide that. Don't tell me any BS about they're pretending to be Moors and all this stuff. No, the real pretending to be Moors are those 13 whoever's that we showed you. Stop playing around. Nanticoke and Moor folk medicines. Nanticoke and Moors. Not Lenape and Moors. Not Lenni, Lenape and Moors. Nanticoke and Moors. Oh, so why they keep saying Nanticoke, Lenni, Lenape, and Nanticoke Indians and all that stuff, putting the fake stuff with the real? Why don't you just say that you're Moors and stop playing? I like to play around. Stop playing around. Just stop playing around. Real simple stuff to do. Stop playing around. No need for the playing around. Right? And oh yeah. Right? We know who mother is. We know who the original mother is. Yes, we know. Everybody's mom. Everybody's mom is the Asiatic Moabite woman. Everybody's mom. Yes, we know. Ultimately, everybody's mom goes back to her. This is the womb that everybody's tied to. Everybody's tied to this womb. But don't be brolic and calling yourself out your name when you know where your ancestry lies. You know that nationality is the order of the day for a reason. So what is your nationality? And declare that to the world, like the Europeans who we know have declared to the world. And stop playing around with people's birthright. Stop playing around with people's birthright. Oh yeah, and how come you guys never said anything about this European? Coming to think about it. Just a reminder. How about this European? Juliet Owen Jones, so-called Aussie. How come Moorish Science Temple of America hasn't stepped up and said anything about this European talking crazy? They're going to tell you everything about everything else, but they would never stand up to the oppressor, putting out articles on them talking crazy. You can go read the article, MoroccoWorldNews.com. Just put it in. Moorish Science Temple of America represents Morocco at flag raising ceremony. Ask yourself, what is wrong with this Aussie lady? Aussie lady talking crazy. We don't got time for that. We got studio to go to. Islam to the Moors for last night. Great last night. It was a great one. We're gonna get that uploaded momentarily. But it was a great one last night. The Moors went in last night. Went in. It was a great throwback. Great throwback. The Five Deadly Venoms show. It was a good one. We're gonna have that one up soon for the Moors who couldn't be in attendance. But yeah, they went off. They went off. Deadly Venoms concert. All the Five Deadly Venoms were there. And it was off the chain. And also too, that's why it wasn't on Sons of Allah. So Islam to Brother Miz holding it down last night, or holding it up. Give thanks to Brother Miz holding it up, and all the callers calling in for supporting, even though it was just Son of Allah last night. But Islam to all the Moors. Happy Holy Day. Make sure you get some spiritual nourishment in you today. Had to hit you up early because, like I said, we got studio today, so we got stuff to do. Might be there for a little while. But peace and love to all the Moors. Brother Yusuf sends his Islam. They got him. They hijacked him today. Got him grinding. Giving about 80 apples today. Because you gotta do that. Sometimes you just gotta just go get them apples. That's just what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. Islam Moors, happy holy day to all. Have a great holy day today. You know what I mean? Whether it's sunny out, whether it's cloudy out, you know what I mean? Whatever's going on, you know, push everything to the side today and put some energy up. Because don't forget, we also got the Honorable Marcus Garvey to give his honors to. Because you know his session, his honor session is gonna be pretty heavy when we go into that. Philosophies and opinions. So peace and love to all the Moors. Islam to all. And to all, happy holy day. Peace and love, Moors.